My topic is how hubris is relevant in the play Hamlet. The definition of hubris is excessive pride or self-confidence. In the play, there are several moments where hubris is relevant, such as Hamlet toys with Ophelia. In Act 3, Scene 1, Hamlet toys with Ophelia. He lets his arrogance get to him and he disrespects Ophelia and insults her. He says to Ophelia, truly, for the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once, which means that a woman's beauty can in a way ruin them, and that because of it he used to love her. Hamlet then says, you should not have believed me, for virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not, which means no matter how good you are, you shouldn't have believed me. I will never love you. In this scenario, Hamlet let his arrogance and pride get to him, and he acted as if he was above Ophelia when it came to their emotions. Another moment where hubris takes effect is when Hamlet sees that Claudius is praying and decides not to kill him. At this moment, Hamlet lets his pride get to him. He believes that he needs to avenge his father's murder, so Hamlet decides he will kill King Claudius when he's doing something sinful. Hamlet says to take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage. No, up sword, and know thou a more horrid hent. When he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at game a swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in it, then trip him that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned and black as hell, whereto it goes. My mother stays this psychic, but prolong thy sickly days. What Hamlet is saying is that he is debating when to kill Claudius, and decides to get the perfect revenge by killing Claudius when he has done something wrong. Next, Hamlet kills Polonius. This is because his arrogance got the best of him and he acted brash. After Hamlet kills Polonius, he is arrogant about his action. First, when Hamlet blindingly stabs the curtain, he is proud of his action. But when he discovers it was Polonius behind the curtain, he is still arrogant and holds on to his pride and blames Polonius for being there. Another moment when hubris is relevant is when Hamlet accepts the duel with Laertes. He lets his arrogance and pride get to him and accepts a sword-fighting duel with someone who has much more experience and is much more talented than Hamlet. Hamlet first says, Sir, I will walk here in the hall, if it please his majesty. 'Tis the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him, and I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits. And then says, I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in my continual practice. I shall win at the odds, but thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart, but it is no matter, which means that Hamlet is more than confident he will win this duel. Another character who demonstrates hubris is King Claudius. Claudius is very cunning, and this is the reason why he is arrogant. He believes to be the most clever and thinks no one can outsmart him. Yet time and time again, Hamlet foils his plans, and in the end, Hamlet kills Claudius. Claudius has no control over his own fate, and he cannot stop his ultimate demise. When Claudius says this quote, what he is saying is that he knows all this scheming might catch up with him in the end, yet the arrogant side of him comes out and believes that his painted words, which means lies, are better than a woman's painted face. Another moment that demonstrates Claudius is arrogant is when he's convincing Laertes to kill Hamlet. He tells Laertes that revenge is a higher ideal even than church. Claudius is so sure that his plan will work, he doesn't realize that there is a chance for it to backfire. Lastly, how hubris is the reason for Hamlet's death. Throughout the play, Hamlet has done actions because of his arrogance and pride. This led to many deaths, and some deaths could have been avoided if he either learned to control them or have done different actions. An example is when he had the chance to kill King Claudius. If he had killed King Claudius while he was praying, the deaths of Polonius, Ophelia, Laertes, and everyone else would have been avoided. But at that moment, Hamlet acted out on his pride, and then the story unraveled.